everything feels so abstract. Yeah, it's complicated. What you say, the way you act, well, it makes me so confused. I don't know what to do anymore. Can't you just make up your mind? My heart drops when you play around. How can you be up when I'm down? Don't wanna think about it right now. Maybe you just wanna be friends, but there is a fight when we are talking. Maybe you just wanna pretend, but I can read between the lines. Even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting, still wanna be with you. I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. How it hurts to see you smile, like a dagger in me. She just seems so juvenile. I just want it to be me. I wanna set your world on fire. Oh, just so sure I'll stick around. Oh, my heart drops when you play around. How can you be up when I'm down? Don't wanna think about it right now. Maybe you just wanna be friends, but there is a fight when we are talking. Maybe you just wanna pretend, but I can read between the lines. Even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting, still wanna be with you. I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. Oh, even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting, still wanna be with you. I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's be free with me. Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming back and joining us live. We are at almost the end of our day 2 of the summit. And we have a really good surprise tonight. We've got Ellen Hutson in the house. Woo, woo, woo. And I will tell you that I'm using live stream to go to you live. And right down below, I can see everybody who's backstage. And I can see Ellen. And I can tell that she's been listening to the music because I've been seeing her move. And I see it. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. All right, you guys. Well, without further ado, I'm going to bring Ellen to the stage. So, Ellen, are you ready? Give me a big thumbs up. All right, awesome. Hold on one second.
Hi.
Hi.
I am thrilled to be here.
We are so excited to see you, Ellen.
Yes, I was dancing with you.
I saw you bobbing that head. Yeah.
That was good music. We're going to have to share that playlist, I think.
Yes, I was seeing the comments. People are wondering what music it was. I think I get it from Epic Sound. So it's special royalty-free music. You have to buy a subscription so that when I do lives, YouTube doesn't strike me down for it. So yeah, you have to get special permission when you're playing other people's work for sure.
Yes.
All right, Ellen, tell us what we're going to be doing tonight.
Well, I have a little desktop here that I'm going to be sharing. Can you see it?
I can. I see it backstage. Yes.
Okay.
I'll be bringing that on.
What we are doing is I'm going to have a little like high level, not low level. We're just going to, I have a slideshow for you. And
awesome.
Make this, which, this is really hard. I have a green screen behind me because I'm in my bedroom. I'm sure people can appreciate that. But anyways, I'm going to share how I use the piercing plate to add just really fun dimension to cards because, we've been trying to be innovative with the products that we're coming out with and do something a little bit different than what I've seen others doing because I grew up with a mom who taught me all the different crafts. She taught me how to embroider and I cross-stitched and I crocheted and I knitted. And when I fell in love with stamping and die cutting, I was just like, I think I'd love to add this into the mix. And so I really had this idea back in 2008. And it's taken me this long to be able to get the technology to do exactly what it is that I wanted to and find the time to do it. So
well, it's better
with everyone.
Better late than never is what I always say. Good for you to bring in that to fruition. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the piercing plate that you guys are talking about.
We have 2 of them. I'm not sure. I'm so glad I did a slideshow because I don't know that you guys would have seen anything.
I know it looks like just a big metal piece.
It does. It looks like a metal plate, and you can't even see that the dots, that there are dots in there that actually poke holes through the paper. So
let me see if I can pull mine up close enough for you guys to see all of those little tiny holes.
Right. And there's 2 sizes. And so I'm going to explain why there are 2 sizes so that people can make a determination whether they not only want one or if they want both or how they even can use these things because the reality is there's so many uses. And we've been working on that since February is National Embroidery Month. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I did not.
And so we're kind of tying those 2 things together. So I'm really excited to be here and just, answer people's questions too, because a lot of times I'm kind of behind the scenes. I don't get my face out there very much. And so to do a live is something that is pretty new for me. So I hope everything goes smoothly. We'll see.
Oh, it will be wonderful. We're just happy to see your beautiful face.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to add your other screen to the stream.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Perfect.
There we go. Yes, awesome.
Yeah, so there's the project that I made. This is actually on my coffee table in my living room right now because, again, I just felt like it's wonderful to be able to make cards and then also use these same projects for giving gifts. And so I chose to just put it in a very simple frame that I got at Target. And I went ahead and took a picture of it to show it that way. So you tell me, are we ready to just go live right now with my
We
class? Or
Yes, absolutely.
perfect,
I'm
perfect.
going to make your other screen solo,
Okay.
full screen. There you go. We
Perfect.
can still hear you, but we won't be able to see your face.
Oh, that's totally fine. That makes me a lot more comfortable because then that way I can also kind of look around and see what I'm doing here because us oldies, our eyes start going and we're like, where's that thing again? And so you won't have to see me kind of like peering at the screen.
No worries,
So
no worries.
what I wanted to start with is to share again, this is our free gift for everybody who has joined I think it's the VIP group because I know
That's
you'd asked for, is that correct?
that is correct. Everyone who has a VIP All Access Pass can go to the sponsor bonus section. Ellen's got her own page there where she has shared this PDF as well as a promo code. So definitely want to check that out before those bonuses expire.
And so what I did is I created this PDF. I think it's 13 pages long because what I did is I included like 21 stitches in here. And the stitch that we're using for the project today is actually number 13 because I thought, you know what? I'm going to show you how incredibly genius this thing is because, you know, a lot of people have done cross stitch on fabric, but doing cross stitch on paper is actually easier and you can get the most incredibly neat, precise look to it, whereas some people can't do that on fabric. So again, this is stitch number 13, and when you purchase the piercing plate, you actually get the download for free as well. But I wanted to give this to people who maybe just cross stitch as well. So I just thought, you know what, this is a handy resource. I know I've actually paid up to $10 for something that's smaller than this for these types of directions. And I'm like, you know, I'm hoping people can understand what I'm trying to say here because it's like I wrote these directions myself and made all these photos in Illustrator. So it was pretty time consuming, but it was very rewarding to see it get completed. So here are those supplies that I used to create my project. And you can see here that I have actually created a pattern. I'm going to upload it to the store. And, you know, if people can, you know, if they want to try it, then they can go ahead and download it. It's not going to be expensive. I think most of these patterns this size would be about $4, but I'll probably put it on there just for like $1 because, you know, just so that it's really easy for them to access. And we always need needles. And so we have these types of provisions on the store as well. And, you know, the floss, and then you'll see the two different plates that I used. And again, the plates are the most important part. And what I do is I actually run my piercing plate with 80-pound Nina through my die cut machine. And what it does is it punches all those little holes in the paper. And so then I go on the back side and I start logging out or, you know, putting my pattern on the back side where I want it to be. And you'll see here that I put the circles around where the final project will end up being. And so the reality is that, you know, this won't be seen by anybody because it's the back side. And then what I do is I basically take my pattern and I start counting. And so here is the beginning of the project where I started stitching it out. And what you will notice is you'll see these holes here. What I'll do is I'll take a larger size needle and I will punch through the paper in advance if I'm busy watching a TV show or something like that, so that I have my pattern ready to just go ahead and string so that I don't lose my spot. It's a really engrossing television show. This is my excuse actually for being able to watch TV. It's my stress relief. And so I've been really enjoying being able to play with this. And this is the completed project. So that was basically just following along with the pattern that I had created. And I'm going to show you the pattern up close here because I do have it. So let's go back to my PDFs. So here is my PDF. I'm going to actually size it a little bit better. So this is the paper pattern that I created that I'm following along with. And what you get when you get the pattern is it'll tell you what your finished size will be. And so the bigger piercing plate, your finished leaf size is about 3.5 by 4.75. And the smaller, tighter size that I actually did, the finished size was 2.25 by 3. And so what the pattern comes with here, and let me see if I can bump this one to make it a little bit bigger, is you can see how there's all these different lines here to tell you how many stitches across. And then the colors are actually referenced in what it is that I'm using. And so I use 3 strands when I do the big A2 piercing plate, and I only use 2 strands on the smaller plate. And so what you end up doing is you follow the guide on how to create a cross stitch. And I feel so badly because I also created a video, but you guys, I couldn't get it to upload. So I apologize for that. I'm hoping that maybe I can get it and then I'll put it on my YouTube channel afterwards, and I can go ahead and link it back here to this particular video as well. But again, it's this particular cross stitch. So basically you go across until you get it all going one way, and then you come back the other way. And you always want to have your crosses be able to match up, because if you start going one way and then the other way, you're going to get a really interesting look. And so this is basically, let's see if I can magnify this one. Ooh, yes, I can. Look at that. Finally, I'm figuring it out. Sorry, guys. I just got to make this thing happen with me. So you can see how all of my first cross stitches went one direction, and then I came back over the other direction. So it all looks like super even. I'm hoping that makes sense.
Well, it makes sense to us cross stitchers for sure. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, I'm hoping that other people who are not cross stitchers are also going to be enticed by this, because it is not hard. And we're trying to start and create some tutorials on Instagram that show the basic stitches on our reels and such like that. So if you aren't following us on Instagram, go to Ellen Hutson LLC with the @ symbol before it. And you're going to start seeing some of these reels already created. And like I said, I have a video that I had created, but I could not get it to upload onto my computer for the life of me. So I just ran out of time.
No worries. No worries. We will all jump onto your Instagram in a day or two just to see if it's there.
And this shows you the difference between using 2 strands on that smaller plate versus the 3 strands. And so you could choose what you want to do. You can go anywhere from 1 to 6 strands, but I like the look of 2 strands. So that's what I primarily go to with the smaller plate. And as you can see, here is with the 3 strands. And I varied the colors up too, just because I was curious. Okay, what's it going to look like if I use different colors together? And again, if people haven't figured out, this is a monstera leaf. I love plants, and so I love flowers. I love all these different things. And so it's just one of those things that I thought, monstera leaves are so pretty. I think that would make a beautiful pattern. And so here again is the 2 different sizes of plates. And so what I did here is I went ahead and put down how many stitches across and down you get with each one of the plates. So you can have a pattern that goes up to 33 by 43. And there are tons and tons of patterns out on the internet and in shops and whatnot that you could actually utilize with this plate, as long as they fit within these dimensions. And then the smaller plate, you actually get up to 53 by 69 stitches on a single plate. So I think, again, there's so much room for people to play with and test and try different things. And so here's again a picture of me starting both projects. This is the big plate here, and this is the little plate here. And one of the things that you'll notice in this picture that I want to point out to people, because I had never known of these things before, but these are little fingertip things, and they're shown in the video I created, and they really help you to be able to pull your needle back and forth through the paper. And your fingernails actually can go through them too, because I have long fingernails. And so they actually have a little slice in the top, and it keeps your fingers from hurting when pulling the needle. So we're going to have those up on the store too. I don't know if Kathleen was able to get them up for me yet, but they will be up there within the week. So I had just discovered them when I was creating my project this week. And so, yes, I was doing it this week, of course.
Of course. Don't we all wait till the last minute?
Exactly. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time to get everything done I want to do. But again, you can see how much bigger the one plate is versus the other. Because again, it's like, why have two plates? This is the reason why, so that you can do different looks. One of the things that I wanted to share too is that you don't just have to do cross stitch. And this is what I'm most excited about. If you look at this, you can see that I actually stamped. So I stamped the design using one of the wonderful stamp sets from Julie. This is like a modern floral. Oh, the name is escaping me right now.
Is it the organic?
Yes. I think I have it right here in front of me. Organic Elements.
Yes.
And so I actually have it here because I was like, okay, I need to have my names for reference, because I always get word lost. And I don't know why that is. Maybe it's my age. I'm going to tell you a secret. I turn 60 this next year.
Oh my goodness. You
Everybody knows now.
Fabulous for 60.
Oh, but my memory is showing it.
Well, I'm 49. As of 2 weeks ago, I got one more year until the big 50.
I know. It's so funny how they just creep up on me, and I'm just like, am I ready for this? Oh, no. I'm kind of proud of the fact that I'm already 60 and still hanging in there. But anyways, you can stamp first and then pierce and then stitch. Or Carissa actually did a video on our YouTube channel on the 15th, where she actually, I believe she pierced first and then stamped. And so what you get is a different look. And so you could do it either way. And then you just add some accent stitching here and there. And the texture just is, I think it's magical. I love it. So
are you saying that she like stitched like with white DMC and then stamped on top of it?
No, she actually, first of all, she just ran the piercing plate through the die cut machine. And then she stamped on it after it was pierced.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying.
What I did is I stamped on my Nina 80-pound cardstock first, and then I pierced. So you'll notice like there's no, what do you call it? See the right around these holes, there's no white showing.
Yes.
If you were to stamp afterwards, there'd be a little bit of white and it would give you a more textured look. So there's a lot of ways that you can actually really vary the look.
Gotcha.
So that's one thing. The next thing that I just think is just so fun is you can die cut shapes into your cardstock. And then what I do is I mark out on my piercing plate where my openings are. And so, then I took different colors of threads and I did different patterns within each piece of this rainbow, just to make it be kind of fun and have, interesting differences to the look. And so, again, you could do this with so many different shapes. Any type of card that you make a shaker with, you can actually put your pierce plate as the backing and put acetate on the piece that's on the front and turn that into a shaker that has texture in the back of it. How cool would that be? I didn't make that because I didn't have time, but that's another idea I have. And so again, you just pick your different colors of floss and do these different types of pattern stitches. And I used a rainbow because I find rainbows to be so incredibly versatile. So again, you're using the tools you already have. The only thing that again, you have your die cut machine. So that's what you pierce your cardstock with. And all you really need to add to the mix is floss and imagination. And so that's where I'm just like super, super excited about it. Want so badly to see all of these different ideas that I know people are going to come up with.
Awesome.
Now, this is a tag that I shared for our 12 Tags of Christmas series. I don't know who knows me and our business who are in the comments, but I would love for people to let us know who they are and whether or not they've heard of us. And if they have heard of us, how they know us. Because it's like, it's always so fascinating to me to be able to learn how people figured out that we actually are a store. And so I really, really appreciate it when people share with me how they learned about us. And so for people who learned about us here at the summit, I would love to know that. So this is our 12 Days of Christmas series. Every year in the beginning of December, we try to do something because it's such a busy time of year. And we try to do something that's just super fun and educational. And if people have time, they can join in and make their own Christmas tags as well. And so this is the one that I did. And what I wanted to share is, you'll see on the next picture how it is that I marked this tree out. But again, it was like using a die cut shape and a stamp shape to begin the whole process of making this. And then I love to use accents like beads and metallic threads. I have not shown this yet, but I'd love to see people vary the weight by using some yarn with their floss, because again, couching is one of the techniques that is on our PDF. And if you were to couch yarn with floss, oh my goodness, you could make so many cool things just by stamping on the surface and then following your stamped image as a guideline. So, again, it just, once you start beginning to understand what can be done with this, your mind just goes bonkers. So, again, here's what I did. I just went ahead and I stamped the Christmas tree. That was from our, what is the name of the set? I have it right here. Where did it go? It's a Christmas set. Don't know where it went. But I stamped the tree, and then I stamped it exactly on top of the Pear's paper. And then I just started drawing on it. And you can see here that I was like creating all kinds of, different patterns and writing down weird combinations, like how many threads would I have to. So you can see I have a pretty mathematical mind, I think. And so when it comes to things like this, I just play with it. And then I couldn't throw this paper away because my daughter had written on it. I have such amazing girls. I feel like such a lucky mom. Is that just the sweetest thing ever?
Yes, it is.
I just can't help myself. I have two girls, and one is 21 and the other is 27. And I still feel so very lucky. So lucky. So that's how I developed the pattern. And then what I did is I just went ahead and stitched long stitches. So you don't have to fill in every single hole. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
You can make long stitches. You can vary the lengths of your stitches. It's crazy how many different things you can do. And then again, of course, I used the die to create the shape that would then, I bumped it up with some foam, sticky foam, and that allows it to keep the beads kind of on the same level as the front of the card. So it's kind of, sunk down in there a little bit, and it just looks so cool in person.
That's beautiful.
And you can also use your dies to emboss outlines on this. And so with this particular one, I watercolored. I used the landscape design, the abstract landscape. I think it's the mountains one. And then I just watercolored following those lines. And then I pierced. And then I stitched. And I just used a variety of different stitching techniques. And again, just drop it in a frame, and it becomes this amazing little piece of artwork.
Nice.
You can create letters, you can create words, you can create phrases. Again, I made this love fairly big. You can see by the little things where you put your floss on that it's probably about the same size. And so the bigger you make the word, the more rows you can add in it and the more interesting stitch variety you can do. And again, you can see how I really was changing things up. And, you know, there's just so many fantastic lettering books that are out there that you can actually follow and see how people actually draw their letters. And if they can draw them, you can actually stitch them. So it's like super fun to be able to just work and see what else it is that you can do with it. So I don't know if people still have, you know, questions about it, but
I can see some questions coming in if you'd like to answer.
yeah, what if you can read them to me? I haven't had
Sure.
a chance to.
No, that's okay. My assistant Lisa, she's backstage. She's been getting all the great questions down for me. I've got a little doc here. From Tracy, she asks, how does the pattern get on the paper? And is it the same size grid as hard plastic cross stitch? Wonder if we can buy patterns already made in the paper.
That's what I was actually trying to share. Let me actually bring you back to the screen. I've got to figure out how I can. I'm just going to, oops, what is running low? Oh, my PC is not plugged in. I'm going to fix that right now.
That happened to me.
Disaster.
That happened to me last night, Ellen, and I totally lost everything. I was in the middle of a live stream. No joke.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. So the question was the sizing and how it is done. So this plate is metal and it has little pokers coming out of the metal plate. And so the way that you transfer the pattern is you actually put it on your die cut machine. And so you put your Nina cardstock on top of the plate and you just run it through the die cut machine exactly like you would a die that cuts, like a low profile die. And what it will do is it'll punch those holes in the paper. Now, as far as the size goes, I did my own size. The first one, the reason why we came out with this one, the very first, is because it coordinates with our rectangles. And I felt like if people were making cards, they could easily use our rectangle dies to our basic dies. I think you have those to be able to show them later on because we're giving some away. But the rectangles were designed to go with this particular plate. And so the distance between each dot is probably about 1/8 of an inch.
So, Ellen, let me ask you a question. You know, folks that use different cross stitching patterns, they usually go by an ADA count. I don't know how to say that. Do you have or do
I
you
have
know?
not compared it to an ADA. I want to go out and do that because I do think that will be helpful to cross stitchers. But again, this is why I went ahead and put in the size for the pattern, because if you look back at my pattern, which I'm going to go ahead and show you again, because I think that will help gain some understanding here a little bit as to what I was doing here. So the pattern itself, as you can see here, is 29 stitches by 38 stitches. Do you see that?
I do.
So that is indicated on almost every single embroidery pattern. And that's what I was saying. There's so many embroidery patterns out there that I think you could work with this die. But the crucial thing is, though, again, is to think in terms of your max sizes. So if I take you back here, this is your max size right here. For this smaller one, this is your max size for the pattern that you can buy and use. Does that make more sense now?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So hopefully that answers her question, because again, you could use all kinds of different patterns. The simpler the pattern, probably the better it is. And that's why I went ahead and created a very simple Monstera pattern for people, just because I wanted them to start thinking. And what I actually did is I drew on a grid paper. I just grabbed a piece of grid paper and started to just draw out a Monstera leaf. And then I started to use my Copic or sketch markers to color in a pattern. And that's how I actually drew my Monstera leaf. If that makes any sense. people would probably love to see me create a pattern too, but that takes a while.
It does. Yes, I bet it does. I do have one question here from Betty. She wants to know, what size needle did you use?
Oh, we carry those needles on our website. Let's see if I can bring that up, because I used the smallest in the pack. That's my favorite needle. So let's see here. I have my store here in the background so I can share with you. Like, we carry a lot of brands. I don't know if people realize that, but we carry all these brands. And so you can see we have floss and all. I can hopefully do a better job when I get, this finished, to be able to bring it all together. But there's a lot of brands on our store. So if you look up needle, sewing needle. Let's just do needles and see what comes up. Come on. There's some of the embroidery needles right here. So I use, I think, a 3 and a 9, because see this one that has the bigger hole in it? That's the one that I'll use to poke holes. And then I'll use these smaller ones to actually do my stitching, because again, I find that I really like a narrow needle. So I was just going to see if the needle hugger came on here, but no, I don't see it.
And I think
so hopefully that helps.
Yeah, it does. I was, I've been playing with your plate as well, and I noticed that you do need a thinner needle, because the bigger needles tend to make the holes a little bit bigger, and it's harder. It's harder to pull the needle through. Listen,
Yes.
I would like to show you something that I've started, so I'm gonna take.
Okay. I'm
gonna
moving
go.
my slideshow ahead again so that I'm ready to share
No worries.
People probably saw what I was showing, and I bet they didn't know what it was.
Yeah, so we are almost out of time, but I just wanted to show something that I started. So I have your essential arches, and we did this giveaway yesterday, I believe. And I started to show this card that I created by doing the nesting of the different arches there, and I'm just doing different types of patterned stitching on there. So that's just kind of an example. Yeah, so I haven't finished it yet, but that is a little.
I love being able to see what people are working on and what it is that they're doing. The product that you're showing is part of our basics set of products. And so the basics are just basic shapes, and the arch shape is absolutely my favorite because it's very current. If you look online, one of the biggest trends right now in mirrors, at least, is the arch shape. And I just been seeing arches everywhere. And so I said to Heather, we have to have an arch. I just love what you can do with those.
And I love that this essentials, you've got two different sizes, but they nest inside each other. And so I chose the larger of the two sides, and I nested them onto the paper, and I taped it down so it didn't move. And so it's kind of, as straight as possible. I plan to finish it off with the rainbow color of the DMC. And then I think I'm going to die cut some clouds and kind of put them in different places with a little sentiment. So that's what I'm planning to do. And hopefully we'll have a blog post on that soon.
And all right. Need to know though that both of those sets are in one set. There's not two sets.
Yes,
there's just one set with two pieces to it, so that they get all the sizes in their set. So it's an incredible value for the money that you pay for it.
The piercing plate, does that come with both plates in there as well, or are they sold
those
separately?
Are each. Yeah, okay, they were made independently. Like we came out with the first one, which is just the piercing plate, and then we came out with two, which is the smaller one.
Awesome. Now we're about to do your giveaway, and if I'm not mistaken, you're giving away both of those plates. Is that correct?
I can't remember. It's totally fine.
That's what my note says. my note says A2 piercing plate and A2 piercing plate 2. So I'm assuming
Yes.
that's the two
Yeah.
different sizes. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, that is what we're about to give away. So I want to see in the comments a big thumbs up, lots of love for Ellen. Who is ready to get this giveaway? All right. So let's go ahead and draw for the winner.
I'm reading some of the comments just off here to the side. And you guys, thank you so much for all the love. I really appreciate it. It's just so fun to be able to be here and share with you. And if you guys had seen what was on my screen beforehand, that was a sneak peek of what's coming. And I'd love to see if people could guess what it was in the comment section, if they happen to like wonder what on earth I was showing them.
All right, so the winner of those 2 piercing plates is going to Diane. Last name starts with an L and ends with an A. So good. Diane, we're going to be emailing you over the next couple of days. Please be sure to respond within 72 hours. And then we're going to be giving your information to the folks over at Ellen Hutson, and they're going to be sending you out that giveaway bonus. So thank you so much, Ellen, for joining us today and showing us all that. I'm really glad that the slideshow worked, because I definitely think that showcased what exactly you're working with. It was a really great idea. So thanks for coming up with that.
Well, like I said, I'm hoping to get that video thing figured out, because it was supposed to be like a short video showing the actual stitching process and whatnot. So watch on our
worries.
Instagram
Yes.
or on our YouTube channel. So we'll get it there.
We are definitely going to catch it. All right, Ellen, thank you so much for joining.
Hey.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, you guys. Wasn't that fun? I mean, one of my first crafts after doing the ceramics with my grandmother was my stepmom taught me how to cross stitch. And I cross stitched all through my teens. And I didn't really put it down until probably mid 20s. My grandmother was a big quilter, and her last project, her last unfinished project, I have in possession of, and it was a cross stitch, and it was supposed to be made into a quilt. So I still have it. I still have all of the DMC thread to go with it, and one of these days maybe I will finish it. But cross stitching always reminds me of my stepmother, and as well as my grandmother. So I was so excited when Ellen sent me the piercing plate to try out. All right, you guys, let's do some more giveaways. And I think somebody's asking about that Pink and Main promotion that we had. Let's see here if I can put that on the screen again. Yeah, that one goes until 10 o'clock tonight. And let's see, we have some more giveaways to do. Give me 1 second and I will pull them out. All right. I wish I had like shelves just right here. I could just pull them in. But all right, so I'm just put these right here. Move my keyboard. Okay, so the first one we are going to do. All right, I gotta go look at the comments. Are you guys enjoying the summit? Please tell me if you're enjoying the summit. And if you're not enjoying the summit, don't email me. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, you guys. No, I hope you guys are enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun putting on. I look forward to this time. We are going to be doing another summit in July. It's going to be focused on all holiday cards. I'm going to be sharing some information over the next couple of days. We are currently looking for speakers for the next summit. So if you are a content creator and currently do videos of your cards, definitely keep your eyes peeled, because I'm going to be sharing a special link where you can go to apply. All right, let's take a look at some of these giveaways here. All right, we've got another one from TLC Designs, and this one is double dial die. So she sent me this cute little interactive card and asked me to share with you how the little interactive part works. So let me just make sure I get that in there. So it's a little dial there. And it looks like, I'm not quite sure, but it looks like it's a baby dragon. Isn't that cute? Awesome. All right, so we're going to be giving away this die set. That makes this guy right here. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, this die set is going to Bonnie, and Bonnie's last name starts with an S and ends with an L. All right. We are going to be giving away another Heartfelt Creations bundle. Lisa, this is the Elegant Gateway bundle, giveaway number 5. And we have lots of goodies here. So we have got, looks like this. Oh, these are actual cards here. Yeah, so these are 5x7 gateway cards. So you got 2 packs of these. And then you have the perfect size Elegant Swirl Gateway die cut to go with those folding cards. And then you have this beautiful Elegant Gateway Sentiment. Yay. All right. I think, you know what, they actually put the retail value of this. So these are pretty nice. This is $65.98. It's a nice giveaway. All right, so let's go ahead and give this bundle away. All right, let's draw for a winner. All right, the winner of, hold on one second. The winner of the Heartfelt Creations is Constance, and last name starts with an L and ends with a Y. All right. We have got a fabulous giveaway from Maker Forte. Maker Forte is going to be doing a live stream on Sunday, so be sure to check that out. And I believe we're going to be giving another one of these giveaways. So we have, for this giveaway, we've got the Neon Lights, Yellowstone, and Flamingo Reactive Smooshable ink. And then we've got the, this is the watercolor, what's this called? Easy Watercolor. Easy Watercolor. And then we've got the Perfect Mr. Perfect. Yep, awesome. All right, so let's give this away over from the folks over at Maker Forte. I remember when Alexandra just launched her business, and I think she's been in business 2 years now. I was on one of her first design teams. It was so much fun. All right, so this giveaway is going to Karen. Last name starts with a K and ends with a T. Okay. Put that over. Next one is, let me just make sure. This is going to be our Dare to Be Artsy bundle here. This is Seize the Day. Lisa, just for your notes, we're going to be doing Dare to Be Artsy Seize the Day. Cute little manatees and a little octopus there. And we've got these die cuts here. You guys, if you missed the Dare to Be Artsy live stream earlier today, you definitely should go check it out. She created really, really cute cards with them, kind of different type folds. So that was really nice. Oh, before I just sort of put it away, let me draw for the winner so I don't make sure I don't forget. All right, so the winner for the Dare to Be Artsy Seize the Day, and that is spelled Seas, Lisa. This one is going to Gloria. Last name is starts with a K and ends with a K. All right, we're going to do another one from Prickly Pear, and we're going to do this is Santa Koala and Mrs. Claus. It's going to be a stamp set and a coordinating die set from our friends over at Prickly Pear, just right down the road from me. Go ahead and draw that winner. All right, this winner is going to Gloria, and last name starts with an R and ends with an N. All right, so let me just look at my list here, see if we've got any other giveaways we need to give. I think we are totally caught up. I cannot believe it. All right, let me go face forward. All right, you guys, it has been a fun couple of days with you guys. It's only going to get better. We've got tomorrow, and let's go over that schedule, and let me go ahead and share that link for the schedule. All right, don't forget to go to that schedule there. And then let me pull that page up. Okay. So let's see who we've got going on tomorrow. Tomorrow, bright and early, we've got Verity Vitalcomb. She's going to be doing some wonderful wedding cards to wow the couple featuring embossing folders. You do not want to miss that presentation. And then we've got Leslie Ohm of Happy Doodle. She's going to be teaching us creative masking 5 different ways. We're going to be making a Get Will Soon card using fun masking techniques. And she has a really, fabulous giveaway that we're going to be giving away during her presentation. Then my friend Sarah Edwards is going to be doing some 3D Easter Bunny shaped cards. She is going to actually be giving away some SVG files. So whether you have a Cricut machine or you want to just print it out and hand cut, she is going to take care of you for that tomorrow. Don't forget to show up at 12:30 for our updates and giveaways midday. Right after that, we're going to be doing a live stream with Right at Home Nicole. She's so sweet. I cannot wait to see her. Then we are going to have a live stream with Cat Scrappiness. And then we're coming back to our crafty speakers with Tiffany Solero, who's going to be doing some easy alcohol techniques for cards. I love her cards. All right, then we're going to be joined by Marissa Dean. She's going to show us some really cute thank you cards. And then Robin Marshall Clark is going to show us 2 ways to get amazing ink results. Then we're going to end the day with April Corbett, who's going to be doing some paper marbling. All right, in the evening tomorrow, we will not have any live streams, but we will have our VIP member virtual crop. Now, I mentioned earlier tonight that you should be checking your email if you haven't checked it since 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I sent out an email to all of our VIPs, and it basically has a link to register for the virtual crop. You will have to actually register in order to get in the room, and there will not be any tech support for this. I forgot to mention this earlier, that we will not be answering any tech support questions regarding getting into the room, because we're all going to be in the room at the time. So if you are not familiar with Zoom, or Zoom is something new to you, please make sure you practice and test it out. You might want to go ahead and create an account. It's much easier when you have an account, and it's free. You don't have to pay anything to join Zoom. So all right, so it looks like I've got a question here from Lisa. All right, so let's see here. Give me 1 second. All right. Okay, you guys, I think that is it for this evening. We're going to see you bright and early tomorrow at 9 a.m. All right, you guys, take care. Life happens, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.